You're listening to SoFloRadio.com.
You are now listening to The Frank Fernandez Show. You can call the show 954-990-0036. You can reach the show on Twitter at FrankTheTank305. Welcome to the Asylum. It's now time for The Frank Fernandez Show on SoFloRadio.com.
Guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Woo-hoo! Hump day!
Beautiful Wednesday evening out here in South Florida. Well, late afternoon, early evening in South Florida. The rain finally kind of like died down a little bit, even though we got a little bit of rain on the way to the studio. Frank Fernandez Show live here on SoFloRadio.com. This is The Asylum. Thank you for making me a part of your Wednesday. Each and every Wednesday live here from 6 to 7 p.m. You can go ahead and join the conversation of the show on Twitter by following me at FrankTheTank305 or hitting up hashtag The Asylum. Awesome weekend in South Florida. Awesome weekend in South Florida. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, believe it or not, at Sun Life Stadium. I'm going to get to that right after this. It's no longer one man, four walls. We got the crazies gathered up. So this is still the Asylum with the crazies. I know you like the sound of that. And one of my crazies right here, sitting across from me, is Miles.
It's kind of creepy, actually, you know. Thought we were doing a sports talk.
We're trying to give Miles a little nickname over here because he's trying to, he's freaking out already with the sound effects, but you should be ready by now. iPad is charged, so there's no excuses today. My iPad has button capabilities today.
Is that what you call it now?
Yeah, that's what I'm calling it now. Of course, we're also being joined by our minion, Ivan. He's going to be our minion for a while because he's here learning the books.
Welcome to the internship.
Frank Fernandez Show live here. You can call the show 954-990-0036. The Frank Fernandez Show is brought to you by The Last Carrot at Coconut Grove. But what a weekend in South Florida. What a weekend in South Florida. And it started Friday night. Soccer game at Sun Life Stadium. That place was absolutely jumping. I actually got conned into going. Had absolutely one of the best times I've ever had in any sporting event in my whole entire life. It was live. And the only thing you saw was yellow, red, a little bit of blue. But for the most part, it was all yellow. Because Colombia's famous jersey's yellow. And let's face it, so is Brazil's. A lot of chanting. A lot of pride for their country. It was one of the coolest sports scenes that I've ever seen with my own two eyes.
Well, yeah, you're talking about the world's #1 sporting event, maybe besides for NASCAR. But I mean, talk about an experience between two powerhouses when it comes to soccer, especially, or football, as they like to say.
The football.
The football.
The football. But it was awesome. Like, it kind of felt like it was like a show. Like, it didn't even feel real. Like, usually sports out here we're used to, it's hype, and then a down period. You kind of just sit around and wait. But this is fast action pace. Like, now, Ivan's a soccer fan, so I kind of understand why he's kind of on that track. I left there saying, you know what, I'm going to find the team to root for, and I'm going to start rooting for this team from here on out. But then I started thinking to myself, the only way that I can get into soccer the way I got into it on Friday was if I had 73,000 people screaming around me.
I'm going to agree to a certain degree, but if you start looking into, like, the Premier League, I mean, it's kind of easy to root for, especially like the top teams like Man U.
The famous teams, the popular teams.
The Chelseas and, all those good guys out there.
One of the things that turns me off about soccer the most is that there's just so many leagues. There's so many classifications. It's like the Premier League, the Spanish League, the European League. It's just too much to keep track of. There's never an off season. It just feels like they're playing constantly.
Well, you also have added the exhibition matches, especially like the one that we just saw on Friday. You add those into the friendlies, the friendlies, and just to show off and spread the soccer love around the world.
Like, bro, look, I play video games all the time, okay? And I play FIFA. All right. Oh, you know what? That reminds me of something. It's time for another Frank Fernandez Show video game comparison. I got sound effects for everything. I told you, leave me with my buttons. I'm a dangerous person. But look,
Somebody has too much time on their hands.
I play FIFA all the time, and I'm in season mode. I even made up a character. His name is Pepe Hernandez. I needed to come up with a name that they were gonna say on the game that's close enough to my name. So Fur and Her, it's only missing a letter. You just swap out a letter. But the season never stops. It goes on and on and on, and here I go. I'm tirading about soccer, and I wasn't even trying to tirade about soccer early on.
This wasn't part of the game plan. Where did this come from?
No, this isn't even my tirade. Like, by the way, we have a new segment introduced to you guys today. It's going to be called the Tirade of the Week. So I came up with my own tirade. I haven't told David what it is. David's come up with his own tirade, or I made him come up with one, and so he has 25 minutes to figure it out. But it's going to be a new segment that's going to be on the last segment here on the Frank Fernandez Show. 954-990-0036. By the way, you're more than welcome to join in and say whatever you got to say. But look, overall, so we can stop talking about soccer because we'll just keep here and blabbering on about the stupid game of the forever and ever.
I wouldn't say stupid. You might get shot.
I'm just trying to say something that'll get me up until the live feed,
Ooh, somebody might call now.
All right, so we saw a lot of great football this weekend. Football started kickoff weekend. A lot of cool football. We saw punters getting kicked in the face. We saw receivers stiff-arming cornerbacks down to the ground. And then, of course, all the football conversation gets hijacked over something that happened 3 months ago. And it's crazy that there was a video already put out there about 2 months ago. And then all of a sudden at 4 o'clock in the morning, on Monday morning, this magical video appears on TMZ.com, and it's the inside the elevator look for Ray Rice and his now wife, Janae Rice. It's disturbing. I feel like I'm going to be in trouble with something that I'm going to say, so I'm going to try to tiptoe around the subject quite a little bit, because for the most part, everybody already knows how everybody feels in the media. Remember, I'm not media, I'm the fan. Until I start getting treated to games, then I'll be media. But at the end of the day, it's very disturbing what he did. Now, I was one of the people rooting towards Goodell's 2-game suspension because I said, you know what? At the end of the day, he was proactive and he did something. He didn't have the tape. Janae went with him and she pleaded the case and said, it was a one-time thing. Nothing happened. Now, with that conversation and those facts that came out, I took it as maybe she went after him and he put his hands up and she kind of like tripped on her dress, slipped backwards, maybe her head on the rail. That's how I took it. After watching the video, I'm like, good God.
It's not accidental, that's for sure.
You would want to try to believe that it's a first-time thing, but after watching the video a few times, and I watched it a few times Monday morning, and I'll be honest with you, I haven't seen it since because I don't think that we should keep feeding to this.
It's not something you want to advertise.
At the end of the day, this is their private life. And she did come out yesterday defending him and saying, look, this is our privacy. Leave us alone. I'm paraphrasing.
I'm agreeing. I agree.
It's kind of crappy for the media to play this over and over and over again and making this individual have to relive this moment over and over again when she was the one that had to deal with the pain. And we're just kind of here just spectating on what she should be feeling.
The media's turned it into a spectator sport. Though.
They have. And if I were the NFL, if I was Goodell, the NFL handled this the wrong way, especially now in hindsight that we're going to see it. Because, hindsight is very 2020. But especially now, it shows that the NFL is handling this very incorrectly. Now, I was okay with the 2-game suspension, especially if they wanted to take their word for it. They wanted to take their word for it. And Janae, I'm saying her name right? Janae?
I really hope so.
All right,
I'm not exactly
sure. All right,
sure.
Mrs. Wright. I got the minion looking it up.
We'll just say Mrs.
Mrs. Wright. All right, so his wife, his then fiance. Goodell kind of took her word for it because they did come down to NFL headquarters.
She pleaded his case.
She pleaded his case.
She pleaded his case. I mean, how are you supposed to?
They got married and everything right away.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, it might have been a one-time thing.
How do you think this is like a longevity kind of thing? It sounds like it's got to be the first time, especially if you have someone pleading the case. But in hindsight, most victims do plead the case.
All right. Well, That's a different conversation because she could have either been scared or depressed. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? The point is that she pleaded it, okay? So I didn't disagree with the 2-game suspension. That's not where I'm saying where the NFL was wrong. Where the NFL is wrong was that once the Ravens released Ray Rice, then they came out and then put a indefinite suspension on Ray Rice. Now, 2 things are wrong with this. One, they're going against their already 2-game suspension, saying, oh, look, we were wrong. Now let's give him a more suspension. That's like a kid getting in trouble and saying, oh, you know what? It's not going to be 20 minutes. It's going to be 4 hours of a punishment in your room. Kind of, I'm going way out of the line there, but kind of the same thing. Janae, right? Janae, I'm good. All right, Janae, thank you. So that's one. So they're kind of second-guessing themselves, and you don't want to see an entity like that second-guess themselves. They're even more wrong because they came out and they gave the 2-game suspension, and they're going against their word because didn't they put a protocol after this took place? Because they didn't have one in place. So they put a protocol of a 6-game suspension for first-time offense.
After the event already happened.
Right.
And this is after they had already made their announcement of judgment.
Okay, so it's not only that they're going against themselves, it's that they've already put in a protocol. Now, in the video, it looks like this wasn't a first-time offense for Ray Rice. He handled it way too calm. If this was a first offense, as soon as she would have hit the ground, he would have been like, oh my God, what have I done? Somebody come help me. As soon as the doors would have come, he would have peeked out. Is there anybody there? Come help me, come help me. Make up whatever you want to come up with. The video saw it at the end of the day, so that would have been another thing. But he would have been freaking out about it. He was entirely too calm about it. He knocked her out. She hit the floor. He's like, all right, whatever. She'll get back up. And then he picked her up. Then he was frustrated, dropped her ass again on the floor, okay? And then dragged her ass out of the elevator. When finally somebody saw him, and he was still kind of kicking her legs, so the door wouldn't close on her. That wasn't first time, bro. I'm not a sucker. I was born on a Wednesday, but it wasn't last Wednesday. It'd be funny. You should look that up to see if I was actually born on a Wednesday. I think I was. Anyways, but this wasn't a first time offense.
No, obviously.
Not by his body language.
By his body language, it's like, oh, wow. Again? Really? You're getting too easy to knock out. That's what it seemed like. He just looked at her as like, really? I'm going to have to pick you up now? Come on, stand up.
Okay, so now going back to the NFL. So they're saying we have a protocol of 6 games. But no, you know what? Now that we saw the video, 6 games is enough. So now we're going to suspend you indefinitely. This should have been handled if I was Commissioner Fernandez. If I was Commissioner Fernandez, I was okay with the 2 games. So let's give him 2 games. I probably would have gave him 4 from the start. Okay? So let's give him his 2 games. This happens. I see the video. Oh, crap. Okay, I kind of screwed up on this one. Okay? But I wouldn't have come up and done the indefinite suspension. I would have hoped that the team that he was part of would have suspended him. That was it. I'm not going to get in the way of it. If somebody else wants to go ahead and pick them up later, you know what? That's their deal. That's their media scandal. That's their prerogative. They can go ahead and do whatever they want with Ray Rice. I'm not going to go against my word and look like the douchebag that made a wrong call and then try to correct it by making even a worse call and going against my protocol that I set about a month ago.
Yeah, that's the problem. You can't just go back on what you've already stated of what you're actually going to do already. You know, after this situation, you realize, okay, we need a protocol for this. We need to actually set up a disciplinary action, and we set it up. Bam, done, written in stone. And then all of a sudden, we just see a video. Oh, we're just going to completely not even allow what we just stated put into place as a disciplinary action. We're going to go beyond that and say it's a second offense already. I mean, it was a severe hit, you know, and we obviously, I think the whole world saw it by now. You know, we saw it was a vicious hit.
Roger Goodell is...
But you still can't go back.
Look, right now, he's in some serious jeopardy because the speculation now is, did you get your hands on the video? It's very sketchy that this video, one video came out about 2 months ago, okay? It was the outside elevator view, and it was a guy walking. The guy that you see at the end of the video, once he's dragging her ass out of the elevator, sorry, that was wrong of me, but after he's dragging her out of the video, you see somebody walking by, okay? That's where the other video picked up. You see the video pick up, and then you see him dragging her out of the elevator. So how was that video released, let's say 2 months ago, maybe it was a month ago, and now all of a sudden, we see this video come up? You're going to tell me the word is that all TMZ did was just go to the casino and say, can we have the video? And here you go, have the video. Why couldn't Goodell do that? Goodell came out yesterday saying, we don't get our own material. We let the, again, paraphrasing, we let the
investigators.
Yeah, well, whoever.
Yeah, we had our top flight investigators working for the NFL, who decided to dig into this, who obviously never even went to the front office and asked for a video. But my question is, why didn't the police ask for this video?
Why didn't anybody ask for this video?
I mean, if you're actually going to, do an investigation, I mean, shouldn't the police have done a better investigation? I mean, all they had to do was ask for this video, and it was it was handed over to TMZ. They didn't have to buy it. It was handed to them.
Which is weird. So that means that you and me can go to Atlantic City and just be like, hey, whatever casino was, can we have that video, blah, 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 because we just need the video. And we could have just come up with it. We could have made our own Miles and Frank the Tank scandal website.
Elevator scandal.
Well, we can make our own TMZ. Put them out of business.
Have you seen the new the next fight on pay-per-view is going to be Salon versus Ray Rice?
Oh my. David, it's too soon
Elevator
for that.
division.
It's too soon for that, bro. It's too soon for that.
No, it's perfect. It's perfect because this is an old event. The video has been out. I'm sorry we have a better angle this time.
Finish him. Yeah, exactly.
954-990-0036. This is The Asylum. Frank Fernandez Show live here on SoulFlowRadio.com. It's a hard topic to talk about. I'm sure everybody's already had enough of it. I think it's even worse that the media just keeps playing the video over and over and over again. I respect that. That's why I only wanted to see the video a couple times. I saw the video a couple times. I did my gas bag around it, what I thought about it here and that. There's a lot I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to get in trouble, to be honest with you, because there's a whole totally different kind of side to it that I just don't feel it's right to get into it.
No, I think we should just avoid that because it is a sensitive subject because of everything around it. So let's keep it moving.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about this all show. We're about to go into our first break, but we have a lot to talk about. We have baseball to talk about if we ever get into it. The Marlins, believe it or not, are in a race.
3.5 games behind.
That's very interesting that they kind of hang around. It's funny, though, because they keep on going 500, and then they lose 2.
And look who we're beating up, the guys that are actually in front of us.
Well, Milwaukee's kind of been on the decline the last month or so.
Well, no, we did pretty well against the Braves, and I think we're actually in the series against the Braves right now, aren't we?
The Braves are about 2 games ahead of us right now because they're tied with Milwaukee right now for a game and a half behind. I'm trying to pull everything up as I speak. I think I'm pretty on, though. San Francisco and Pittsburgh right now hold the lead.
Yep.
As I was right, Atlanta and Milwaukee are tied at a game and a half. Then comes Miami at 3.5 games. And then the Mets behind them at 5.5 games. We were counting the Marlins out last week. We were saying they're out of it. They keep on hanging around, and it's a lot of the teams that are helping them keep around because it's not like Pittsburgh and San Francisco are really giving them this distance between them.
Doesn't it have like a kind of a 1997 feel?
No.
Or 96 feel?
No.
No. Like we're kind of sneaking into the spot. I mean, I have that feeling.
I had a feeling with that team because I felt, you know what, if they made it into the playoffs, they can make some noise. I don't think this team can make it into the playoffs.
I think we can make some noise if we make it into the playoffs.
They'll make some noise because maybe they'll make it into that playoff game, but that's about it because after that, there'll be no more noise.
Keep it positive.
That game will never be in Miami either, so you won't have to be worrying about fighting the crowd. But being Miami, I bet you that game will sell out in about an hour.
It could be.
Bandwagon capital of the East.
Oh, you know it.
Frank Fernandez Show live here on The Asylum. When we come back, we're going to get into some Canes talk. We're not too happy with the way they've been looking the first couple games, but you know what? It's rusty. Hopefully it gets better. Frank Fernandez Show live on SoulFlowRadio.com after this.
Finish him.
To SoulFlowRadio.com.
Hey, South Florida. Frank Fernandez here from The Frank Fernandez Show, and I'm here to tell you about the last carrot in Coconut Grove. Now, I've been able to eat whatever I want all my life, and I've never had any consequences to think about. But now as I'm getting older, I'm starting to see the effects and the importance in having healthy foods. Well, the last carrot is the place to go for a healthy treat. They have a full smoothie bar with fruits which are cut right in front of your eyes. And have I said delicious? Man, I picked up a mango banana smoothie the other day, which was not only delicious, but refreshing with a boost of natural energy. The Last Carrot also offers a variety of fresh veggie sandwiches on whole wheat pitas, fresh salads, and spinach pies. The best part of it all It's in the heart of the Grove. So after you have your meal, you can take a nice stroll and enjoy the shops of historic Coconut Grove. So come on down to The Last Carrot and don't forget to tell them Frank Fernandez sent you so you can receive that SoFlo Radio discount and have some good, healthy eating. The Last Carrot is located on 3133 Grand Avenue in Coconut Grove, Florida, 33133.
We asked this gentleman to participate in our radio taste test challenge. On one table, terrestrial radio. On the other, SoFloRadio.com. Do you have your blindfold on?
Yes.
Try a bite of this.
Oh, God, that's awful. Tastes like the soiled briefs of a lonely fat man.
You just had a taste of all sports and corporate-backed right-wing assassin talk radio. Now give this a try.
That's gotta be SoFloRadio.com. Entertaining, funny, informative. I love it. Can I have more?
SoFloRadio.com. A full plate of delicious entertainment.
I am the voice of terrestrial radio. Internet radio will not succeed. You will continue listening to sports, right-wing talk, and mayonnaise FM. If you disobey, we will punish you with more right-wing talk, sports, and mayonnaise FM. We are corporate, ergo, we are never wrong. Listen and obey. Listen and obey.
Shut it down, evil foe, for I am SoFloRadio.com, and I'm here to give back what people want to hear. A variety of entertainment, fresh music, comedy, and different points of view.
I own you.
Oh, your fart-radiating suit and tie don't frighten me, old chum. Behold the power of SoFloRadio.com.
My balls are falling off.
You only had one, my evil friend. There. Now you'll have to squat to pee. SoFloRadio.com. Castrating terrestrial radio. One ball at a time.
Hi, this is Boca, and I'm not a tranny, but I do play one on radio. Here's my before picture, and here's my after picture. And I owe it all to Luis the Artiste and his new outstanding weight loss program, the Powwow.
Now, back to the Frank Fernandez Show.
My name's Noah J. Bird. Noah J. Bird? Oh, you like to fly. What's your name, baby? They call me Soul Baby. Soul Baby? Yeah. Keep it in control, baby. Tears, no fears, man. Oh, is that right? Respect it, don't neglect it. All right, my brother. Treat it, don't beat it, my man. All right, baby.
On SoFloRadio.com.
Yo, badass mother...
It's a lot of into the club tonight. What? But it's gonna be alright. Yeah. Cause me and my clique, we don't give a fuck. Trick Daddy. Big D. Let's go. If you want it, you can get it. Let me know. Let me know. I'm about to break it straight up. Let's go. Let's go. If you want it, you can get it. Let me know. Let me know. Guess what today is?
Frank Fernandez Show live here on SoFloRadio.com, 954-990-0036. We're rolling here on top of Hollywood, Florida, here on Hollywood Boulevard, downtown Hollywood. If you're in the area, you can come and check us out. Go ahead and tune into that TuneIn app. Tell everyone, spread the word, or you can just go ahead and listen to the podcast later on. Big shout out to my Canes fam. Had a blast on Saturday. It's good to have football right back. That's right. Game started at 7. I was at the gas station at 2:15, waiting to go. Nice big caravan line trying to get into the stadium. All of a sudden, we went in there and the caravan broke up. We found pieces of people coming in and out. It was a blast though. Ivan was there. Ivan had a great time. I think that's the first time that Ivan actually tailgated on the west side. He's a newcomer. He's from the east side.
He finally spoke.
He's afraid to talk on the mic for whatever reason. Eventually, he's gonna have to get over it and start talking on the air.
You know, the messed up part is we actually have mic for him and everything.
He doesn't want to. I tried it last time.
I mean,
he's
it's
not
like
gonna do it.
It's a foot.
But you know what? No, hold on a minute. He's got to earn his time on the air. He's the minion on here. Remember, he's the rookie. He's learning.
All I had to do was flip a coin.
Well, I brought you in from back in the day, so you were a little different. Come on now. 954-990-0036. This is The Asylum, the Frank Fernandez Show, live here on SoFloRadio.com each and every Wednesday.
Oh, I
had a little bit of gas there. You like that, huh?
It. I mean, it was almost a special effect there.
Yeah, it's, I don't have that one saved.
You pushed your own button, huh?
I had to. I don't like doing that on the air. That's kind of nasty. I'm not Sid Rosenberg. I gotta take my shots, man. Do farts on the air, burps in the air. I gotta keep it a little clean for the ladies,
only
you know,
natural.
respectful.
It's natural.
I got some ladies listening in.
Looking out the window, it's beautiful.
It's beautiful, isn't it? Just get up, you can see the scenery.
Pretty trees.
Did you catch the Canes game?
You know, I got the second half. Unfortunately, I was sleeping and nobody woke me up.
It's FAMU, bro. I mean, like,
exactly.
Like, what more are you expecting? Like,
If
what else are you
we
expecting?
didn't win, I was gonna quit.
It's FAMU, man.
I was gonna quit.
I expected it to be a lot bigger of a blowout than it actually was, but I mean, the defense didn't allow any points.
I didn't see it going to be any bigger.
Minion, if you can, do me a favor, get me the box score for that game. I'm trying to load it up. You got it already. Oh, look at that. That's why I have him around here. I thought he's going to be a good asset to this. But it was a lot of fun, actually, just waiting for that hour today. Usually I'm sitting here by myself, like, tapping the desk, like, what's going on? When is this going to begin? Oh, we're here laughing, having a good time, doing show prep. A lot of fun. So, yeah, so it was bad. It was really bad. And you can start off by the numbers. Let's start offensively. 2 for 10 on third down against FAMU isn't pretty. We saw a lot of underthrown balls by Brad Kaya. We saw a few overthrown balls by Brad Kaya. But you know what? At least they opened up the playbook and they let their freshmen throw the ball around.
He threw over 30-yard passes. It was almost amazing.
He was 17 for 30. 100. Oh wait, is that 218 yards in the air? No, hold on. That was overall. That was combined. What is up with your tech-savvy new computer? This is freaky. Okay, so he's 12 for 22. I feel like I'm looking into a scoreboard. He's 12 for 22, 177 yards. His average was 8 yards a throw. He had 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. One of the interceptions was underthrown fade route to the corner, which he underthrew. I think it was Herb Waters that he underthrew. That comes with experience. That's one of the reasons why I was so mad that they didn't let him air it out more in the first game against Louisville, because that's only going to come with experience. Look at one of the issues that Tannehill has with Wallace. Like, they can't connect because they're not on the same page. Wallace runs this way and he throws the ball that way.
Well,
Doesn't help that he's very inaccurate.
Those two look pretty good this year.
No, they don't. We'll save that for the third segment.
Yeah, I was going to say let's continue on, but yeah, no,
but
I disagree.
Heaps came in. He threw 8 passes, converted 5 of them, 41 yards. No touchdowns, no interceptions. He didn't look that impressive.
Well, by then the defense is already beat up. I mean, you're lucky to even have the first stringer still in there from FAMU side.
But it doesn't matter.
I mean, it really
especially
doesn't
since you don't
matter.
have the first stringers, you're supposed to make it look even better than what he made it look. There was maybe one pass out of the 8 that he threw that he put a zip into, and I'm like, wow, okay, there you go. But
well, again, they probably didn't have a very wide open playbook for him. I mean, from what I saw, it was nothing, just a ton of runs just to run out the clock.
Speaking about runs, good to see Duke running the ball. 9 carries, 97 yards. He averaged 10 a carry, had one long one at 55 yards. You'd like to see that.
Well, it's because Kaya was throwing the ball more than just 10-yard dump-offs. You know, there wasn't that many screens from what I saw.
Yerby also in the mix. He had the most carries out of the whole team, 14 for 95 yards, 6.8 yards per carry. His long was 15. Duke had a touchdown. Yerby did not.
Well, again, you know, you got Duke his touchdown, you got him his touches, but again, you don't want to waste him on FAMU.
Yeah, he was taken very quickly out of the game, and I totally agreed with it.
Agreed.
You know, the game's already out of reach. Duke is doing his thing. You don't want to risk an injury on a stupid play.
Do you agree about Kaya, though? Do you want
Kaya, yes. Kaya, you needed to leave him in the game more because he needed to get the throws in. He needed to get that experience. I think they finally took him out like maybe
3 minutes left in the third quarter, just about.
Okay, give or take. I was going to say about midway through the third, so I was pretty close. But I agreed with having him in. Maybe I would have left him until the fourth and just let Heaps do the whole fourth, but he needed to get his touches. He needed to feel that whole adjustment after halftime. He needed to get, that cool-off period and come right back in it. So I agree with everything that they did with Kaya. The game by the Selfie King really wasn't the best called game, but for the most part, they open the playbook. I mean, if they didn't open up the playbook against FAMU, then you're not going to see it. I don't agree with what Golden said, but I understand what Golden said. He kind of went into an interview this week saying that usually teams have easier competition in the first week, so it's kind of their first week, and now they're into their second week. This was more of like week 1B. Week 1A was getting the whole field away because it was a tough opponent. He didn't say this. Now I'm paraphrasing as well. I'm not good with quotes. I can care less. If I heard him say it, I'm going to say pretty much what he said, as long as I'm not wrong.
And I quote, too.
But I'm paraphrasing, so I'm not saying that. Anyways, but this was like week 1B for them. They wanted to get Kaya comfortable, and as the game went on, he looked more comfortable. There was a couple of spots, but
the inconsistencies, his pass have just got to be better. I mean, he's been first string practicing now. First week is done. Your jitters should be, for the most part, done. We're expecting consistency, and we're gonna start expecting things from this guy now. First week is done. Second week we played FAMU. We only won by 41. He left the game at 31. I mean, come on. We expect better things, especially against FAMU. That should have been a 56. And especially with this new playoff system, we need to be going after their throats.
Well, something that I touched up on last week that I'm kind of looking it up right now on the Herald is that Al Golden this week was asked when Ryan Williams comes back and he's cleared by doctors, is there going to be a quarterback change? And he said as of right now, there's going to be no change expected at quarterback. And I quote that. Quote, when that time comes, we'll deal with that competition and the reps and all that, Golden said. Right now, it's Brad and Jake Keeps until that time. So he's willing to ride out with Brad. Remember, I touched up on this last week. You can't start the freshman and then all of a sudden say, all right, I'm going to sit you down and start this guy. If your plan was to start Ryan Williams when he came back into the game, into the fold, then you should have gone with Heaps. Because it's easier to bench that fifth-year senior because you're not really knocking him on confidence. That's kind of the plan as the season came in, was it was going to be Ryan Williams. Benching a freshman is a little different. Benching a freshman, you're kind of messing with his mental game.
But as long as you know you're going back to Williams, you can easily bounce between both quarterbacks.
You can disguise it.
You could say, hey, you're going to get the first three series. And then I'm going to go with Heaps for the 2
No.
series.
You don't want to do the two quarterback system.
You can still split it, or you could even say Heaps is going to start game 2.
No.
We weren't too
that doesn't work. That doesn't work. That doesn't work
for confidence reasons. But as long as your mentality is still thinking, you're still going with Williams.
It doesn't help with the confidence. It doesn't help with the rhythm of the offense. When you have two different quarterbacks with two different styles, you're gonna totally throw off the rhythm of the offense. So you don't want to do the two quarterback system. We've seen the two quarterback system here in Miami. Remember when Marvin and Harris were in that first year going back and forth? That was a joke, okay? You've seen it with Notre Dame a couple years ago as well. That was a joke. Eventually in the championship game, they went with
what's his name?
Whatever.
Exactly.
Who cares? But you don't want to do the two quarterback system. Now, if you have Ryan Williams in the mix, the only way they can actually make it disguisable with Kaya was to say, listen, this was gonna be your starting quarterback coming into the season. He was hurt. You stepped up. You did a great job. We're gonna go back with Williams because he's more suitable for the job right now. Get you ready, so you're gonna be our starter next year. That's the only way you can disguise that. But I still think that it will mess with the confidence of Kai at the end of the day.
I'm going to agree and disagree at the same time, because knowing full well that he wasn't the starter coming into the season, if Williams was healthy, Kaya wasn't going to be even considered for the starting position.
No, he wasn't.
Unless Williams got hurt and Heaps was either terrible or got hurt.
Well, if Golden's competition system, that there's always competition there, is legit, then you don't know who you're going to start, because we still don't know if Ryan Williams right now is better than Brad Kaya. That's still up for debate. We saw Ryan Williams last season.
Only a few games, too.
And he really didn't do much passing the ball. He was in there to manage the game, and he has Duke Johnson, so it's easy to just hand off the rock, pass the ball a couple times, and that's that.
Exactly.
It was in there for a couple times.
We only used him a handful of times, and that was when we were looking at absolute blowouts, and we were looking beyond just what we were perceived.
The word is that Williams should have been the starter.
And I agree with that because
I agree with that too. He has the experience.
He walks into the experience category. He's got 2 years of experience of learning the playbook at the same time of he was in every once in a while in a few games. He started a few games when he was still a junior.
By the way, speaking of the University of Miami, Donna Shalala stepping down in 2015.
Huge.
I don't know how my friends feel about this, but I'm gonna give a little bonus to the people listening online. I'm gonna do my victory dance. I heard that. I was like, yeah, Shalala's gone. You gotta watch us live in order to see that victory dance. But
way too political for my opinion. But again, they have to do what they have to do.
Shalala's whole deal was make Miami the Harvard of the South or the Stanford of the East or whatever her analyzation was.
After we make.
Did I just make up a word? Analyzation?
No,
oh, it's a word. Okay, whatever. Cool.
Probably went on Scramble.
I'm smart, not even knowing it. And I'm gonna be proven wrong. I learned that on Words with Friends.
Words with Friends. Yeah. The sad part is how many people played Words with Friends with the cheap app.
954-990-0036. I did it all the time, man.
It's like, what was the point?
I got letters there, and I'm like, I can't come up with a word. I'm losing by 25 points. I need to come up with a 30 triple word score.
Yeah, for real, 300 points on
bomb
word.
Bomb. I'm good. Look at that. I'm smart, not even knowing it. But I don't want to talk about that because it depends how you feel about her. I personally, I'm not a huge fan about her. By the way, 954.
If you were in a sporting program, nobody was.
I'm gonna keep going with the Canes on this. You can call the show, by the way, 954-990-0036, and you can go ahead and put in your 2 cents about anything we've spoken about on the show. I want to also plug in Canes hockey. If you guys don't know about Canes hockey, yes, the University of Miami has a hockey team. I am the voice of the hockey team. I actually have a meeting with the general manager on Sunday at the arena. Absolutely free. It's at the Kendall Ice Arena. It's a great time. They play on the weekends, so you don't have to worry about making it out there on the weekdays. It's a fun time, and it's a cheap night.
When does it start?
It starts in October. Actually, no, I am lying. It starts now in September. This weekend they're away. I'm going to get you the schedule in a little. Maybe next week I'll get you the schedule.
No, we'll definitely start plugging those in.
But I'm going to try to get some players in here, try to do some players with some of the interviews with some of the players. It's a fun program. They play very rough. One of the better games to go to is against Florida Gulf Coast University. Those two schools do not like each other, especially in hockey.
Really, 2 Florida teams who play hockey.
It's a lot of people go into hockey because they don't understand the sport, so they go into for the hits and for the fighting. I'll tell you what, these guys go at it.
Well,
I'm being straight up with you.
You can't really follow the puck too well in person. At least I never did.
Oh man, because you're not experienced in the sport. But it's a very easy. You have to use a lot of anticipation when you watch hockey. When you watch hockey, you gotta kind of think of what's gonna happen next without it even happening. So you can go ahead and already follow what's going on. You can go ahead and you don't need to follow the puck. Just look at the direction where the puck's going. You'll see the player get the puck, and then you just go around through there like that. When they're in one zone, you don't have to follow the puck. You just kind of just look at the zone, see where everybody lines up, and it's beautiful the way all the players just kind of find their spots and the way the play develops and eventually find the hole. Look at that. I'm tutoring you on hockey here on the Frank Fernandez Show. I just play hockey, man. Hockey's one of my favorite sports.
That is true. That is your sport. You thoroughly enjoy your little Blackhawks team from Chicago. Little
nothing. If you're talking about the Panthers, then you can say little.
I mean... they only went to
hockey
the
talk.
semifinals last year, and I think 1 2 years ago. I mean, it's a small team from Chicago. I mean, look them up, guys.
This is the Frank Fernandez Show, and I do hockey talk. And if you don't like hockey talk, puck you.
You're listening to SoFloRadio.com.
Hey, South Florida. Frank Fernandez here from the Frank Fernandez Show, and I'm here to tell you about the Last Carrot in Coconut Grove. Now, I've been able to eat whatever I want all my life, and I've never had any consequences to think about. But now as I'm getting older, I'm starting to see the effects and the importance in having healthy foods. Well, the Last Carrot is the place to go for a healthy treat. They have a full smoothie bar with fruits which are cut right in front of your eyes. And have I said delicious? Man, I picked up a mango banana smoothie the other day, which was not only delicious, but refreshing with a boost of natural energy. The Last Carrot also offers a variety of fresh veggie sandwiches on whole wheat pitas, fresh salads, and spinach pies. The best part of it all, it's in the heart of the Grove. So after you have your meal, you can take a nice stroll and enjoy the shops of historic Coconut Grove. So come on down to the Last Carrot and don't forget to tell them Frank Fernandez sent you so you can receive that SoFlo Radio discount and have some good, healthy eating. The Last Carrot is located on 3133 Grand Avenue in Coconut Grove, Florida, 33133.
We asked this gentleman to participate in our radio taste test challenge. On one table, terrestrial radio. On the other, SoFloRadio.com. Do you have your blindfold on?
Yes.
Try a bite of this.
Oh, God, that's awful. Tastes like the soiled briefs of a lonely fat man.
You just had a taste of all sports and corporate-backed right-wing assassin talk radio. Now give this a try.
That's gotta be SoFloRadio.com. Entertaining, funny, informative. I love it. Can I have more?
SoFloRadio.com. A full plate of delicious entertainment.
I am the voice of terrestrial radio. Internet radio will not succeed. You will continue listening to sports, right-wing talk, and mayonnaise FM. If you disobey, we will punish you with more right-wing talk, sports, and mayonnaise FM. We are corporate, ergo, we are never wrong. Listen and obey. Listen and obey.
Shut it down, evil foe, for I am SoFloRadio.com, and I'm here to give back what people want to hear. A variety of entertainment, fresh music, comedy, and different points of view.
I own you.
Oh, your fart-radiating suit and tie don't frighten me, old chum. Behold the power of SoFloRadio.com.
My balls are falling off.
You only had one, my evil friend. There. Now you'll have to squat to pee.
SoFloRadio.com. Castrating terrestrial radio. One ball at a time.
Hi, this is Boca, and I'm not a tranny, but I do play one on radio. Here's my before picture, and here's my after picture. And I owe it all to Luis the Artiste and his new outstanding weight loss program, the Powwow.
Now, back to the Frank Fernandez Show.
Now, you guys mind telling me what you're doing, my little green pal over there?
On SoFloRadio.com.
Who the heck is that?
Wayne Gretzky? On steroids?
Yeah, I'm the only one to get the job done. I don't know no one that could cover for me. Yeah, got some
Guess what today is?
Day, so she might say she love me. She don't love me like she say she love me.
Believe me, it is hump day. Frank Fernandez Show live here on SoFloRadio.com. 954-990-0036. Hump day. It's time for the NFL segment. Believe it or not, we haven't spoken NFL yet on this show.
No, not really.
I gotta break everything down. It's that
we've had callers sometimes.
All the Ray Rice BS kind of took over the airwaves all week that it's been hard to talk about actual NFL. Because that's the only thing that's actually taken over.
But, you know, and the sad part is, like, so many quote-unquote positive things have happened, especially week one. I mean, like, especially for fantasy owners, a lot of the top 10 draft picks did mediocre, and everybody else in the world did amazing, plugging in Alan Hearns.
You know who didn't do amazing this week? I'm sitting next to somebody that their strategy was to lose week one by taking other players off their freaking lineup so they can purposely lose so he can be number one on the waiver wire so he can restack his bench.
No.
What kind of strategy is that? Yes, guys, I tweeted it earlier. I'm speaking about the minion of the Frank Fernandez Show. Ivan.
No.
He's saying it's a winning strategy.
No.
I'm telling him that win's going to come back to bite him in the butt later on in the year.
You do that at the end of the year when you already know you're in playoffs and you're looking for the better matchup for your walk into a championship possibility.
We'll find the button for that eventually. The playoffs.
Playoffs?
By the way, the Frank Fernandez Show is brought to you by The Last Carrot. You can find The Last Carrot on 3133 Grand Avenue in Coconut Grove, Florida. This is the spot, guys, for healthy eating. I'm one to always eat whatever I want. As I'm gotten older, I'm like, hell no. I got to find a new spot. So this is the spot. Full smoothie bar. They cut fresh fruits right in front of your face. I picked up a mango banana smoothie that I was like, sure, yeah, why not? But it was amazing. Absolutely amazing. Boost of natural energy. You can also get sandwiches and pitas and salads and spinach pies over there at the Last Carrot, guys. So go ahead and check out the Last Carrot. Then you can walk your food off and walk through the Grove. Grove is still a hot spot. It's not like it just died down. It's died down a lot of nightlife, but it's still a hot spot.
It's died down, but no, they're actually reinventing it. It's coming back.
But the Last Carrot is the spot at the Grove to go to. So go ahead and check that out. You mentioned the Frank Fernandez show, and you'll get hooked up with that Frank Fernandez discount. So make sure you hit that up. But yeah, getting into NFL talk. I guess let's get into the Dolphins first. It was like a tale of two halves.
It was like hump day.
Yeah, it was like, what the hell happened in the first quarter? It was interesting. They have big issues. Big issues. First of all, one of the most obvious issues is Ryan Tannehill's accuracy down the field. Absolutely. The first interception, the interception that he threw, Mike Wallace went one way, and he threw it a totally different way. He led Mike Wallace inside. No, excuse me. He led Mike Wallace outside. Mike Wallace was running inside towards the middle of the field, and you have the DB right there perfectly set to make the pick. And then Mike Wallace is throwing his hands up in the air saying, who the hell are you throwing the ball to? Then again, Mike Wallace kind of doesn't have sticky fingers either.
Yeah, he doesn't have much room to talk with those hands. I mean, but after the first quarter, the second half especially, those two were on. You have to give him credit on that. It seemed like those two decided to have a little powwow during halftime and say, "Hey, you want to get on the same page?"
No, you know what? It looked like it looked like Tannehill got a little more comfortable in the pocket.
He wasn't hit every down either.
That's the thing right there. You just hit the nail in the head right there because he wasn't rushed. I believe it was one sack. If you can do me a favor, give me those that box score. It was one sack. He really didn't get popped like that. He had time to get rid of the ball. The running game makes a huge difference because with the running game, you open up the passing game. Wow, what a freaking concept!
Oh my. The one huge fumble by Lamar after that big
he got popped.
Oh, man, he got popped right, though.
It's funny that his shoe went higher than the ball.
You noticed that, too?
Yeah, I noticed that. I was like, what the hell went fly? I thought it was a Madden glitch.
Exactly. I really thought what was going on here. It's like the replay doesn't even allow you to see. Even in slow motion, you cannot see that it's a shoe.
It was pretty crazy.
You just have to follow the projection.
There was another incident with the football being kicked, and a football flying up in the air. I think it happened in the Raider game. It was a handoff to the running back. He got tackled. He fumbled the ball, kicked the ball back up to the quarterback. He caught it and then was sacked or tackled because that's not a sack anymore.
I mean, let's talk about Antonio Brown. I mean, he put his shoe someplace. That's
holy
for sure.
Cow! Kicking people in the face, kicking MFers in the face.
I don't like kickers, so I'm going to step on this one.
I like Moreno. I like that we have a running back that's a number one running back.
Are you serious?
Because he's a number one running back.
It was awesome.
It takes the pressure off Lamar Miller, and Lamar Miller was able to run his ass off as well.
And who was able to get in those cuts? Lamar Miller was able to wide open, not really wide open, but he was getting those screen passes. He was getting the dump offs. But, I mean, no Shaw Moreno, you have to say 100% carried that Miami in the first half.
Well, Moreno had most of the carries.
Besides for most of the carries, he's the one that kept those drives alive. I mean, how many yards after hits did he have? He reminded me of Marshawn Lynch. I was like, oh, Moreno got beast mode?
Because he's running his ass off. That's the thing, though. Like, he's running his ass off, and it's good that you have that kind of a running back because it kind of changes up the two styles of running backs. You have a running back that's a downhill hardcore runner that makes great cuts, and then you have a finesse running back like a Lamar Miller.
You need that power back. You need to wear down the defense.
You do. Absolutely. And you started seeing it in the second half. A lot of the thing that was really wearing down the defense is that Miami started going to an up-tempo kind of offense. I think they were doing it more just to gather rhythm within the offense, but it ended up working to their favor two times. One, it gathered a lot of rhythm, and two, it tired the crap out of New England. New England didn't have time to substitute players, and they were gassed.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
If you remember old school Miami Dolphins football, what was one of their biggest advantages?
Ground and pound.
No, it was the 1 o'clock Sunday afternoon sun, and especially in August, September, October. Because we all know in Miami there's two seasons, hot and not so hot. It's true. When did Miami start? Miami, look, every year with Jimmy Johnson and Wanstead, Miami was 10-2. They were 10-0. All of a sudden, November, December came around, they lost every game.
Yeah, because it was an actual the team.
Because the humidity faded off.
Yeah. No, I agree. I would agree to that because as a Miami player, you get used to that. You know, we really get messed up when we go to places like Denver, where
when I used to it comes up the mountain, right? You just went to Denver, so you understand what that's like now.
No.
It's not all about the hype now.
It actually will totally affect you.
It was that bad, huh?
It was that bad. You know, you'd walk outside and walk around. You know, if you wanted to go for a jog, I mean, 1 mile jog turned into a 5 mile jog. So you always turn back after that half mile. It's like I don't think I can make it.
Were you riding donkeys and stuff and heading for the mountains?
Nah, just trying to see all the sights.
Smoking that peyote?
No, we never were allowed to go to that. You know, it was a work event, so we never were allowed to go to those. What are those called? Greeneries?
Let's focus. Let's focus.
Okay.
So Moreno carried most of the carries, 24 carries for 134 yards. If I leave you alone, you're gonna hijack my show, and you are part of the crazies and part of the asylum. But
it's true.
You're gonna hijack my damn show.
It's true.
At the end of the day, I'm titled, right?
I can chit-chat.
Lamar Miller, 11 carries, 59 yards. He did have a touchdown. Why isn't it carried there that he has a rushing? Because it was a passing touchdown.
So we had
All right,
34 attempts on the ground. That's huge.
We did have 34 attempts on the ground.
Huge.
That is huge.
I mean,
great math.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Flexing your math skills there?
Well, you know.
Well, hold on. Well, yeah, it was 35.
Oh, you made me feel smart, and then all of a sudden,
holding you up and they're just slamming you, letting you hit the floor face first.
Hey, Miles, how was that bus?
Tannehill had 3 carries as well. Tannehill had 3 carries for -2 yards.
Woot! That's what we're looking for.
But it was great football all the way around. It was a very exciting week. We had Antonio Brown kicking a Cleveland punter in the face. It looked like he was going to jump over him. Cleveland's punter looked like he had horrible
he
technique,
wasn't sure what he was doing.
horrible fundamentals, but I don't know what he was doing.
He was like, let me just use my body.
Steve Smith, though, was out of hand. Look, this is what I want to tell you about.
He had the best scoring play of the week.
And I want to talk about your team. How awesome did Kaepernick look this year?
Oh, dude. Besides for the fact that Dallas has the worst defense, unfortunately, in the league right now. I think anybody has a better defense than them. But Kaepernick, wow, he looked spot on. I mean, that first quarter, I didn't know what to do. I was jumping and screaming so much.
Dude, I thought Kaepernick was so super overrated, especially seeing him last year. So I was like,
he's got a gun.
He's gotten better. But you want to know what helps with that gun? Look, I'm gonna see if you can figure it out. Have you seen the way Russell Wilson has been throwing the ball? Did you see how quick his release has gotten? He just flings it like this. Okay. What do both those players have in common? Let's see if either of you can figure this out.
Oh, well, they both have really good quick releases. And
Why?
They're both sidearm throwers.
Why? What fundamentals do you learn that from?
Oh, that's baseball.
Baseball, exactly. They're both baseball players. Okay,
that's
so look at
baseball
look at Kaepernick.
Well, look at
There's
Jameis
a play,
Winston right
There's
now.
a play real quick. Exactly. There's a play that Kaepernick was falling. Okay, I think it was the first touchdown to Vernon Davis.
That was awesome.
He was
wasn't
falling to his right. Excuse me. He sidearmed it, falling sideways,
Like 3
and
inches
was
off the
able to
ground.
put it 30 yards in the air, right into Vernon Davis's chest. That's all baseball. That's turning in double play. Now let's go to Russell Wilson. Why do you think he can throw the ball from up here, okay, and it goes 50 yards down the field?
Well, you know, I think
that's
Russell
a double
Wilson-
play. That's a second
Yeah.
baseman fundamentals. Yeah. As a second baseman, you remember it's
Yep.
and you throw the ball right from there.
You know, and I have to, you know, I didn't give Russell Wilson any chance in the NFL. I really didn't. But
I didn't either. I thought it was going to be too small, and it makes me second guess Johnny Manziel.
No, I don't. It wasn't because of his size. It was the fact that every play that he's successful on, he has to be out of the pocket.
But some players are like that.
And
Michael Vick was like that too.
Exactly. I didn't give him the credit, and I actually am going to give him his credit.
To me, they screwed up Michael Vick's career when they wanted him to become a pocket quarterback.
But at the same time, if he became a pocket quarterback with the ability to run, exactly like what they're doing with Kaepernick, because let's face it, they're molding Kaepernick to be like the most dangerous quarterback there is.
He just fumbles the ball way too much. That's why they made Vic change up. Anyways, we're going to go to a brand new segment here. We did talk football. We can get back into it whenever. You guys can call and we'll change up.
It's football season.
We're going to be talking about this so much that it's like, all right, whatever. You know what? It is what it is. But I want to introduce a new segment here on the Asylum. Welcome to the tirade of the week from the Asylum. Oh, wow. So I must have pushed the wrong button. Oh, it fits perfect. What's gonna be it? My tirade of the week. This is a new segment that I want to come up. I'm an angry person. I always come up with crazy like just tirades, and I've always vent, and my girlfriend's always like, why are you so angry? And I'm like, because I like to get it off my chest. If I bottle it up, it's even worse. So I had a tirade a couple weeks ago. This is a brand new segment. We're gonna do it every single week. We cut down on the time today because it's the first week of football, so we kind of excited about it. And I don't think David was ready with the tirade, so I'm gonna take over his spot.
Hold on. You opened the show last week with a tirade.
You're right.
So
I
this
tirade
is
every
not
week.
Something new.
It's not something new, but I decided to
Make it a segment.
capsule it up just a little bit and make it more organized and make it a little segment. And I'm going to let the callers come in. As time goes on the show, it's going to be longer, maybe the whole 20 minutes, and we can get all the callers to kind of just express themselves, because it's always better to get things off your chest. So my tirade, I'm going to go back to the technology. You have heard me say that technology holds us hostage, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So companies now are making phones, and they're only making it so that you have to change phones every 8 months, okay? And after I got my hands on a smartphone, I never wanted to go back. I was fine living my life with the flip phone, and I was fine pushing the number 2 3 times to get to the letter C, and then pushing this letter 5 times, and then it's Morse code because you're just pushing buttons, and it sounds like you're on crack, but you got your message across. I could even do it. It was easier texting like that, driving as well. No texting driving. I'm not condoning that. I do it all the time, and I kick myself in the ass. Maybe after my little eye-opener a couple weeks ago, I won't do that anymore, and I have been better about it. But Apple now, yesterday, releases the iPhone 6 and the iPhone 6 Plus. So iPhone's been out for how long? 4 years, 5 years? And they're already on their 6th generation phone?
No, it's been longer.
It's been longer?
Yeah, it actually has been longer.
But they're on their 6th generation phone. So look, I have an iPhone 4S. And my carrier, I don't want to put them on blast. Never mind, I will. T-Mobile is saying that it's my phone that's messed up. No. Why don't you let my phone still work? But it's that they don't want to do updates anymore for my phones. So my phones are no longer working. Now, that's not where my tirade goes. Remember, I told you I was fine with the flip phone until I got my hands on a smartphone. Now, if I lose my smartphone, I can't live without it. But now they're introducing an iWatch. Watches are supposed to be made to tell time. So these watches now are going to be integrated. How are you doing with that? Can't find nothing? All right, you suck. I'm going to have to do it all by myself and look at the same exact time. So anyways, so now they have a watch, okay? And this watch is supposed to help you pay for things, okay? It's supposed to tell time. It's going to have apps. Like, you don't need your phone to be doing all these things. Like, it's absolutely not necessary. So what they're doing is they're trapping you into another form of technology, okay? They're trapping you into getting something else, into not being able to live with something else. So I'm trying not to get this iWatch, because I know that as soon as I get this iWatch, yeah, it's going to be all good. It's going to be all gravy, but then I can't live without it. And this is going to be like a $300 investment, right? Because you know Apple products are not very cheap.
Never.
So this is going to be like a $300 investment. And it's going to be all good and gravy, right? It's going to be all good and gravy until all of a sudden they have to update it and it doesn't update anymore. So then 6 months later now, I have to invest another $300 in a freaking product that now I can't live without. That pisses me off. We are being held hostage as consumers. And the only way to stop this is by not feeding into their crap that they feed us all the freaking time. I told you to think of a tirade, and I kind of extended it because I saw your mind scrambling, so I didn't give you a chance. So next week, it's your turn too.
Oh, I could totally come up with one.
Whatever, there's no time.
What?
I did that to you. There's no time.
Dude, it was totally my turn.
We got 40 seconds left. I got to say my goodbyes.
No.
I got to thank you.
Okay.
I gotta thank you. Thank you again for coming. This is the crazies now, right? Like, this is the asylum with the crazies.
Are we gonna go with crazies or how about Looney Tunes?
Nah, we can come up with a name between the three of us. We got Ivan. Ivan, good looking out. Great job today with your internship. We're gonna include you more and more. We're gonna include everybody more and more. Frank Fernandez Show live every Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. We don't wave, we don't clap, we throw up the U.
You.
Good night, South Florida.
Hump day.
You're listening to SoFloRadio.com.